you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all the index crispy one, okay, which will have a list of tasks, which will usually perform kind of implementation when you are enabling Oracle PPM, right?
Yeah.
Uh, to start with, okay, this one implementation life cycle, okay, mainly implementation life cycle, it will go in this way. Either there is a already Oracle implementation has been done, but not only the projects module not enabled, then you are going to enable the projects module by using the existing structure of financial and HCM and other prerequisite, okay.
Mhm.
That is one way. And the second way to doing it, right, just let's say the customer is completely out of Oracle system. They might using some local software or small product which they want to come into Oracle world. Then that time you will implement all the required modules across the board, right? Starting with
Mhm.
CM, PPM, HCM, and financials. Depends on the
Mhm.
scope and what is the scale of solution which you are going to do.
Yep.
There are two ways to look in that life cycle. Majority of them nowadays going with the uh, agile methodology, where you develop and deploy and test and then go to the next phase or sprint, like that till the go live. Some of the customers which is having a long entities or good amount of business structure, then they go with the phase manner, like taking a few entities first phase, second phase, third phase, then bring them everything into Oracle and make them use of the system effectively. That's where I have been seeing the clients which are implementing Oracle rather going at one go when they have a huge business across the globe.
Mhm.
Coming to enterprise structure, right? Enterprise structure, mainly it will be similar, okay, when it's compared to, but the architecture wise, there will be a changes, okay. Into the cloud, we have normally, let's say I take some example, right? Like GBS group. Okay, just example, we have this is a group of company where you can have under this you will have a legal entity. Then under that, okay, you will have a ledger associated to legal entity. Then you will have a business unit. Okay, this is a term which we call it in Oracle. Maybe in EBS will if you connect it, but I cannot say operating unit is equal to business unit. It's a kind of, but a business unit is a term which we use. Then we'll have a project unit. Something is a unique, okay, project unit. Then you will have a organizations, inventory org or project orgs and all, okay, orgs, okay. In this you will have a different set of orgs. One is a project org, then inventory org, okay. Then you will have a expenditure org. This kind of organizations you have. So this is a, let's say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and fifth, okay. And these three, okay, ledger, legal entity, and these three will be common, okay, if you enable just even other modules without PPM. The PPM will take into place when you are bringing a project units and the associated orgs, and from there you are creating your projects and all the stuff. Okay. Now here the business unit, it could be one or many. On the ledgers also you can have primary and secondary ledger associated to, right? And the legal entities as well. Let's say you can have a legal entity, one ledger, okay, one business unit, or one business unit can have a multiple legal entities with the same ledger, right? So that depends on the requirement. You can set it up in that way, but the project units mainly to differentiate, okay, the nature of services which company can perform. Let's say I have a three business units, okay, one, two, and three sets, okay, legal entity, ledger, and all. In this case, a project unit can be three or can be one, okay. The how it will operated in the sense is I just giving high level. Let's say I have a information and technology under GCS group, okay. I may have a business unit in UK, I may have a business unit in US, I may have a business unit in Australia. Three different, right? But differently, I have a setup in the system. But when it's come to project unit, right, I should not uh, have it three projects unit for IT. I can say project unit IT, okay, which will be mapped to across three business units. It means the same business unit can be associated to multiple projects units. Okay, this is the concept. How it will be differentiate the project unit? The based on the services or the business you do. Some say, let's say you have a marketing, okay, IT, and you may have another project unit under the same umbrella. Then you can say marketing only under first two entities, first two business unit. Okay, like this you can differentiate the maybe the projects unit is a standalone, but it can be mapped to the respective business unit into the system. Project
So
unit, let's say,
a project unit to be multi-currency then.
yes. Okay,
Right.
let's say
So
here the first this one you do the finance here, but IT will be across three entities, right? Let's say you may have a marketing which can be done only the third entity, right? Depends on this, you can differentiate it. Okay, but mainly in this whole concept, right, you the legal entity, as you're aware, you may use it for booking your like creating your employees or organizations to submit your statutory and audit and financial requirement, the corporate bodies in the local government, okay, and use for tax configurations. And also you use legal entity as a balancing segment value, and also you can use for intercompany transactions for performing a legal entity. In the ledger, we have a four C's, okay, like a chart of accounts, calendar, currency, and subledger accounting method. In EBS world, project accounting operated with the we call it as a project accounting separate accounting setup, right? But in cloud, okay, subledger accounting method will be a streamline where you can set up a accounting in the different modules at one platform, okay, either financials, either procurement, either projects, okay, all of them you can set it up in the same scale where depends on the module you are implementing. In the EBS you have a project accounting as a separate accounting methods. Then business unit level, business unit you use it to segregate the transaction data, and also will use it associated to the respective ledger. Okay, it may be associated to the respective ledger and based either primary or secondary. You can use it primary for statutory and legal, secondary for reporting, something like that in the financials. Then also you can set up at the business unit level what are all the functions you are going to use. Let's say you are going to use the functions like payable, receivable, projects, inventory, procurement, right? All those functions will be enabled at business unit level. This is how the structure will be, okay, where the cloud will make a difference, the business unit and the project unit. Okay, project unit is something new, and also this is on the enterprise point of view. And any organization you set up like projects related setups, right, you will do under business unit, but there are a lot of setups you do under projects unit associated, setting up a different kind of projects, setting up a different kind of templates on the organization, all the stuff you will follow under the respective projects units, but the transactions will be reported under business units, because business unit associated respective PUs, project units, and under projects unit you will have a list of projects which is created, and you book the transaction depends on the different sources like man from OTL or any other third party system time card, and the expenses from iExpenses or any third party expenses tool you can import, and the supplier cost or on the cost which is directly booked into Oracle projects, that is kind of miscellaneous cost or something. This all the cost will booked against the respective projects module. This is how the enterprise level you could see Oracle will be set it up in the cloud world. Any questions?
so you got a project unit finance there, right? And you got that over two business units.
Yes.
I'm still having a trouble with the currency on a unit on a finance project unit in finance. you're still allowable to have multi-currency. When I'm saying
You
multi-currency, right, your base currency for the in project unit finance can be UK, and the base currency can also be Australian. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. You can enter any. You can set up a project in any currency. Okay. The only thing is you need to set up that currency setup in the GL. Okay. Because it need to use the conversion rate, right? And you can set up a project in
I think you're
currency.
starting to see what I'm asking. When I'm talking about the base currency, I mean the actual currency that the project unit in finance is actually set up in, right? Because
Yeah.
I would have thought that your business unit UK, which operates in pound sterling,
Mhm.
would be in pounds in the project unit for that particular group, and the one for the business unit in Australia, which is operating off the Australian ledger, would be in a base currency of AUD.
Yes.
So
Normally the currency thing, right? You will not book at a project unit level. Okay. Any transaction. The transaction you are going to book at the project, right? And the task that is associated to the respective business unit and the ledger, right? Then the currency, let's say you are booking under a US business unit 1 project under IT,
yeah,
right? Then your currency will be USD, default currency, functional currency. Let's say you have a project IT from a business unit Australia, then your AUD is your default currency, functional currency of that
so,
Australia.
so the BU determines, as it normally does, the actual ledger actually determines the currency. I thought.
Exactly, exactly. The
Yeah,
associated ledger, because you have a ledger and the legal entity under that you are going to create a project, right? So that
yeah,
project unit will be shared for the purpose of maintaining how much IT projects you have across the globe. Okay, what is the revenue you are getting? That kind of. But when it's come to transaction level, always it will go with a ledger and legal entity and associated currency or the projects.
right. So that project unit finance, is that the highlighting the orgs, or is that something? Is that another term that we're talking about here?
Yeah, this project unit is specified to set up a configuration. Let's say you need to set up a configuration related to IT, okay, where
Right.
these three business unit going to use that setups and perform the business, okay. And similar way, if you have a finance related business under only two entities and two BUs, you are going to set up a project unit which is associated to
Oh, I'm
only.
with you now. Right. They're two different project units you've got there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's correct.
Gotcha.
That's correct, Mark. Yeah, I think Ashok, the unit finance is the name that was confusing.
Exactly.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can make it as marketing or
Uh,
something like that.
yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
The
easy.
services you do. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand what you mean now, mate. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
yeah, easy. Thank you.
These
Maybe
services.
maybe highlight that in different color. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
I will share a proper enterprise structure, okay, which has
Yeah,
been prepared in a well shape, okay,
good.
where you will see multiple entities, multiple ledger, but I am giving a view, okay, how it will look like. You may have a multiple projects unit as required by the business, and they can track it accordingly in the system,
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
okay. This on the enterprise level it could be, and these three, if you're already working in the cloud, these three you definitely will aware it, okay. It is a prerequisite, and these two will be something specific to pro PPM implementation projects units.
Yeah,
Okay. And coming to the configurations, okay, from topic number 4, like we'll start with the enterprise structure. What are all the functions we associated to business units? Like as I said, payable, receivable, projects. There are these all call it as a functions, and we need to say which business unit I'm going to do what functions, okay, across the BUs. Then we need to define a department and organization tree, okay, which is in the hierarchy mode. Take it into, and we'll have a organization specific to projects. Let's say I said as a project unit and what you are going to do under each project unit options, right? And also you will have a project unit classification, like either it's going to be like organization classification, like project organization, or expenditure organization, or inventory organizations, right? All
Right.
this is going to be define a number of organization as required by the business, okay. The project organizations mainly used to create a projects, the expenditure organization to use to book a cost. Okay, so that you'll have it like that, you have inventory and other places also. Then we'll have a like EBS, you have a foundation setups which mainly covered on the calendars, unit of measures, expenditure categories and expenditure types. Okay, and the different kind of work type and the project statuses and the roles which is used in the PPM, and also related some setups like costing multipliers and the organization rules, costing override. These fall under all of them will fall under the foundation setups, and will also have a burden setups which is fall under costing. But this one the different organization use it differently, but in the class we'll keep it simple way, like the burden calculation will be happen on based on some set of data, in the sense you can have a burden separate item or single item based on your time code entry in Oracle.
Mhm.
And you will have a controls, mainly it will talk about like financial plans and project plans. In this, okay, it will the controls used for mainly budgeting and forecasting by using the plans, right? You can budget the cost budget, revenue budget, forecast budget. For that you need to set up a plan types in the system. Okay, then we have something called costing module. As you said, you worked in the EBS world, right? It will be the similar to have a but the here, right, you have a set of transaction source in the costing module, and the prerequisite like expenditure category types and all will fall under foundation. And the costing, you will have a different type of transaction source. You can define it, or you can modify the existing transaction source which given by Oracle. In the sense you can say you have a OTL, time and labor, and you have a payable transaction source, you have a cost management, you have a inventory, right? Well, these are all the sources given by Oracle. And you can also define some custom transaction source if you are getting some kind of data from outside of Oracle, like as you mentioned the time card you are getting from third party, right? You need to define them into different custom transaction source and the respective setups under that. And you will have a transfer price rules and schedules, which mainly talk about when you have an intercompany. Okay, when you are booking a cost from entity to other, that will only use. But if you are going with a normal case, right, this won't will be having any impact on this.
We do have intercompany elimination process.
That
Ashok
in the
will be
financial,
interested. Okay, yeah,
that in the
yeah.
financial, not in
Financials.
projects, right?
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. You process monthly elimination or reversal entries in the financials, booking and reversal, right? Mostly elimination entries will process. If you have a kind of global intercompany setup based on the company requirement, that will follow the whatever process you have been set it up. Okay, but mainly the project intercompany, it will have a kind of provider receiver. You set up a different projects, all this to follow the intercompany setups.
Mhm.
Yeah, then we'll have a capitalization related stuff in the costing. If you have any capitalized interest, and if you have something rate schedule need to be set it up for capital interest, so that we can do it. And also allocations. Okay, if you have a project's allocations, any kind of overhead costs or distribution costs, then you need to have a set up some allocation rules and allocate the cost from source to target projects accordingly. It's mainly used for rent and common maintenance charges, or any kind of technology used across the projects. You want to distribute it based on some certain rules. That's where allocation rules come into picture. Okay, after all these setups is done, you need to set up project types and project templates. These are all the T. To set up these two, right, we need all the above setups need to be completed, because the template contain is it's a kind of blank uh, form where you can create a project by using a template. Let's say you may have a time and material projects, you have a fixed price projects, you may have a capital projects, you may have a overhead projects or administration projects, right? But classically classified as a three layers in Oracle projects. One is a contract, which you have a customers where you do revenue and invoice generation. The second set, you will have a overhead projects where you set up a project for the purpose of administrative maintenance, marketing, R&D, but no customer, no revenue, no capital. Okay, and the third set is the capital projects where you set up a projects and to track asset development activities and create a capital asset and move it to fixed asset module. That's where it's come to a capital projects. This is by classification, but by project types within the contract, you may have a multiple contract projects like time and material fixed price. Within the overheads, you may have a different overhead, administration, marketing, IT differently, and capital also you can have similar way different project type under each classification.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have a billing module, which will be project billing, where you need to set up some set of events, and events is a similar concept what we have in EBS world. Event types and billing invoice formats and invoice methods. What are all the different method you are going to use it for invoice generation? And also you will have a invoice grouping method if you are doing auto invoice, and the payment terms when you are billing to a customer, you need to have a payment terms to be defined, and you can select them based on the whatever terms you want to set it up at each contract that time. Okay, after these completions, right, what we do, we also do round of testing, right? Based on the completion, you can go and create a project, you can create a task, budget, forecast, and the right, you also create a contract. Okay, and also you create a invoice and revenue, so that okay, the flow will be covered. Okay, these are all the setups has been done, these are all the testing flow it has been, right? On top of that, we could see some standardized reports or dashboards which given by Oracle as part of product functionality, by processing after all this data from by testing. This is a whole thing which is going to be covered.
Yeah. Mark, you have any question?
No, none from me.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, and I hope you have a instance access provided by the team, or you had to get
I yet to receive.
yet to receive. Okay, might
Yeah,
they
I thought
will.
we were going to be given a sandpit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Okay, same thing. I just need to know whether they have been shared with your people, or that's what I'm trying to check. Okay,
Yeah,
they
no,
share.
nothing. I don't think anything's
Uh,
been shared.
Nothing
Yeah,
is
they.
given to us. All we have is some Oracle 24A documents.
Yeah, that is every year.
Prashant, sorry to interrupt. I have shared in the group the demo instance login credentials.
Sorry, it's in the WhatsApp details, is it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
in the WhatsApp group I have shared along with you. So you can check, and if any problem, you can let me know.
No, no, 1 second. Is it shared in the group or it's shared to me in individual? Oh, yeah, I can see there is some. Okay, all right, thank you, Mark. There is
So
a
where are you
there is a
looking?
li- there is a link given in the Oracle Fusion group.
Right. Okay. So that's under. Oh, okay. I see it there.
Yeah, even I see it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just click on the link and give the user ID as a new user dot 123, and the down the when you have a password. You
Right.
just try to click that and try to enter.
yeah. Let me do.
Have you got your WhatsApp on your laptop? Have you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it. Web.whatsapp.com.
yeah.
Oh,
And
right.
also, right, if required, we can create a separate user login also, right? So
Yeah,
that you can.
can you just create, because it says only one new underscore user dot 23.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you
Can
can if you
separate
can
user for me?
create separate users for me and Mark, that will be really great.
Yeah, I will do it. That I need some time. Okay, but first we need to create as one dummy employee, right, or existing employee to take that to add a create account and associate. That I will
Yeah.
work out. Okay, I will just
I,
create a
I
two
could
two
come in
different
for
roles.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, tell me.
No, sorry. I just said
Not,
I could be the dummy.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Then once you log into, right, it's look like this. Okay, normally when you log into Oracle page, it should be mostly it look like this. Okay, whatever roles
sorry, if you are having multiple pages, you're not sharing.
That's
Not
right.
login
Yeah,
screen.
we're still on the Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, one
Yeah,
second.
we are just seeing your Excel sheet.
Yeah, you're able to see now.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. When you are logged into system, right? All the access what you will have normally, like let's say you have other financials or whatever modules in a real time, right? You may have a certain accesses where you are performing your activity. Let's say if you are a projects person, you will just have a projects, okay, and also you will have a contracts because it's a contract module is from revenue and invoice generation. You use it as a contract management. This brought up from PeopleSoft, okay, to Oracle Cloud. And these two will be there, but the rest of them you see, right? Procurement, you have a supply chain or payables, receivables, right? All of them will be there as it's an education instance, okay.
Mhm.
And to start with our any setups or something, right? There are two things which you need to have when you go to here icon, right? Here you will find something called setup and maintenance, okay. This will be associated in a real world only the people who are implementing or who are configuring the system, right, for a client. So that let's say I'm a consultant of PPM, somebody consultant for HCM, or right, those people will get the setup and maintenance page. Then you will go to the respective project financial management, okay, here. Then you will see all the setups which is related to PFM, project financial management, where we need to go based on the index what have been put here, right? From topic number 4, you are going to get the configurations going to be start, okay, uh, by setting up a system. Here the prerequisite as I talk about, right? Let's say you have a prerequisite which business unit which you already set it up in the system. Even if it's a new implementation, you need to wait until unless you complete the financials configurations to start with a PPM. That okay, in this page, right, Oracle, you have some ways of navigation. Let's say you want to navigate some page or some module. There are two paths. Let's say while setting up, you can search it here. If you are selected a menu here, let's say if you search let's say here you can search whatever is coming underneath, but there is another search called enterprise search. Across whatever access you have, you can search it from here. Let's say I can go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do manage business unit and try to find a business unit which is, I can search here and go to that particular task. This is one way, right? Or I can go in the other way around and going here, okay. Then I can go with the organization and hierarchy, right? I can find it here or I can search here, okay.
You can use wildcards in there?
Yeah, wildcard you can use it. Let's say you don't know where that particular thing fall under here, okay. Then you can go to here enterprise search in this
Yeah.
taskbar. This we call it as a taskbar. You can go to here, irrespective of this under, right, it will come on and show you.
Right. And leading, I can use a leading wildcard as well, so I can go percent
Yeah.
manage.
Yes,
Percent.
but when you are trying to train the user, right, you can approach both the ways, but you can tell them these are all the two processes there. For them, either they can search here or they can search here before doing it.
Yeah.
Wildcard search also is available in like how you have it here in
Yeah.
ABS.
Hmm.
Yes. Here, okay, I am taking as a EOS one business unit, okay, as a business unit, which will be uh, set it up for a vanilla instance. Let's say what are all the things. This is a business unit and it will have a set it up there. First thing, the business unit is exist, and the second thing is we need to know what are all the functions has been associated for this business unit, what this business unit does, okay. Here if you see under business unit functions, you could see, okay, from this business unit I could do payable invoicing, payments. Okay, all of them will have a different modules. Billing and revenue. What is related to PPM, right? You could see project accounting. This will be, when you enable this, that means under this business unit you're also going to do functioning projects accounting module as well, PPM. Okay, along with you could have a requisition, procurement, all of them. This will be enabled based on the client and the requirement of the client, what they do want to set it up in the system based on the
Yeah,
business.
yeah. Ashok, good one. Thanks for that. So now that you're showing us there is a payable invoicing, payables payment. Sorry. Can I also know what roles and responsibilities are assigned to these functions?
Roles will be normally Oracle will give a standard roles, okay, but majority clients, so they don't use the standard roles because they have a security controls to be enabled, right? By
Mm-hmm.
using the standard rules, let's say you need to set it up, okay, accounts payable analyst. Only the person will enter invoice. Okay, they won't do anything. They enter invoice. Somebody they have invoice entry plus approval. Somebody will have invoice entry approval for plus accounting, right?
Mm.
That thing will be followed by using a standard rules. They has to customize what need to have or not to have. But Oracle will have a list of standard rules in each area. But mainly I can give the rules which is related to PPM, okay,
Mm-hmm.
project accounting or billing specialist, contract administrator, okay, something like that, which mainly use in PPM. Similar way, each sub ledger will have a different rules.
Okay.
Yeah. But mainly by using a standard role, we need to customize it based on our access controls, all of other things. Okay.
Mm.
Now, as I talk on the enterprise structure, right, a business unit can be associated to ledger and legal entity. Okay. This is the ledger which is associated to for this particular legal entity and a business unit. Okay. So that this is the combination.
It's a one-to-one relationship, though, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. Let's
Yeah,
say
one,
a
one,
business
one
unit
legal entity,
can
one
have one.
ledger to one business unit. So you can have multiple business units underneath the one ledger and one legal entity.
Yes, you can have
Yeah.
one. Attack.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Okay. Then you can also enable the legal entity whichever it's associated to, so that here is the mapping is going to be happen. This business unit, okay, how this ledger and this particular legal entity is going to be.
Right.
Okay. Then you will have a data access. Okay. Normally there is something called word you heard many times into the cloud world. We call it as a data access. Okay. Means here I may have a 3 business units in my system, right? But not every user will perform every activity in every business unit, right? I may have a user who work for UK, who work for Australia, who work for both, right? That time the data access will be based on, okay, let's say data access will be created multiple data sets. User need to be assigned the data access, what country, what access they need to provide it. Let's say here we have a user account which has been given, right? For our
Mhm.
testing, I will take that. I will just show you what data access it has, right? Username, so that when you are setting up a new account, right? We also need to set it up this data access accordingly for each individual user in the real time. Here, if you look at right, this user, okay, will have a business unit accounts payable manager. Okay, so that if we want to add it more, we need to go and assign the roles. Okay, let's say this is a username, right? And I need to assign the roles, which role is exist. You ask me the roles, what roles we have, right? Oracle will have plenty of roles, okay,
Mhm.
but we need to identify. Okay, let's say I'm going to assign as a project administrator. Okay, under project, you see these are all the standard roles. Let's say
Mm.
I'm going to let's say project accountant. Okay, then security contacts, whether you are going to access at ledger level or business unit level, it depends. Okay, let's say you have a business unit level, you can select the BU, then you need to give the BU name.
Mm.
Okay, so that
So,
the person will get the access to that, even though they have a roles assigned, right? Until unless you provide the data access, they won't get.
Yeah. So each user to an individual is mapped
Having
against the
data.
business unit. Yeah, access data against business unit.
Yeah, business unit, sometimes ledger, but major, let's say if you have one-to-one mapping or something, right? Recommended go
Okay.
with a business unit. If you have a one business unit, multiple ledger or legal entity, right? Then you can go with the legal entity approach.
Right. So again, depending on how many business units you've got attached against there, you may
Exactly.
want to give somebody access to all those business units within that particular structure, so that you give them to you do that via legal entity, right?
Yes, exactly. So that you can
Okay.
control the access part. Let's say I may have a project accountant role, but which country, right? Which BU?
Yeah.
This will take. This person will have this US business unit one, or somebody may have a both, right? Based on that, you need to assign each individual user. This will happen normally as part of go live, right? Let's say if you want to go live tomorrow or day after, a week before, you get all the user matrix, who need to what access in the production, right? This has to be done with the proper validation and the analysis and the approval. Okay, so that right person should have a right access. Nothing should be given to wrong people. Means the people who don't do any activities, right? They should not given any access or data control.
Yeah.
Right.
So sorry,
You
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Mark. Yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Ashok, one question. You have created the project accountant for one business unit, that is US one.
Mhm.
Let's presume that there is a project accountant required for two business unit under one legal entity.
Mhm.
So then, what is the security context that you will go for?
Then here you need to select. Okay, let's see. I will select project
Accountant.
administrator. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
administrator. Then you have let's say here whether project administrator you want to at organization level. When you select the role, right, that
Mm.
will tell you what level it's going to be controlled. Security context. Okay. Let's say I may be attending billing specialist, project billing specialist. This they do billing and revenue management. Then
Yeah.
we'll have a okay. When you are setting up a role, okay, that also you are going to decide what context it's going to be. Mainly, uh, either BU level if you are going to ask them to do a particular thing. If it's a ledger level, when we have a multiple BUs, this will be based on the role what you are setting up. That will be associated. But if you want to add as many BUs, right, for the same role, then you need to
Yeah.
create as many lines. So you need to create,
Ah.
let's say,
Okay.
add
here's
it as
what
many
you
as
keep
you
in mind
want.
for it then, is what you're saying. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. What he's saying, Mark, let us say that the project bill that I need to assign it for USBB, US2 business unit.
Yeah.
I can create one more time the same username, create
Yeah,
the role as a project accountant, and then in the security context, select the respective
different BU.
BU, which is US2, and then select the security context value. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
let's say
but
I
but
will just
but
yeah.
but, but
Mhm.
if we have in an optimized way, if we have it at a legal entity level, then in the security context I should get those BUs. Can I select more than one BU at a time, or
No, no, only one, only one.
only one?
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
only one.
So it's one record. If you want to create it for the same user, you basically do that the second time, right?
Second
Yeah,
time. That's correct. That's
if
correct.
you
That's
see
correct.
here, right? I'm assigning a project accountant at ledger level. Okay, so that
Yeah.
you can either assign at a respect to ledger, either you can assign it at respect to BU, whatever, right? Then you need to associate it and assign it accordingly. This mainly come under once you finalize the business process flow, right? And who people, what are all the people activities performed in each team. Some clients what they do, they call it as a project accountant. They do costing and billing. Okay, and some people they call it as a project controller. They do only project setup and budgeting and forecasting and cost observation or cost analysis, right? Some people they have a billing specialist. They do a finance activity but not project control activity. It depends on what role you are defining a person. Okay, then what they can perform it, that will be controlled at a role creation
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the
That should
start.
be fine. Yeah.
This is how you will see the functions and the data set, and are also kind of unit set assignment. Okay, this is called data access per user, and you will assign as many roles you want, okay, for the person. But we need to for this kind of activities you need to have some kind of role matrix. Normally you used to prepare, right, which person need
Yeah,
what access, right? You can have some role matrix and approved and reviewed by somebody from global finance head, or okay, these are all the people we are going to, then the respective people will get it accessed, and they can get it log in and start using the system.
Correct.
yeah. Have I got to go into the console and actually create that, define that user and define the role, or can I do that?
Yes, you can do that. Okay, for that you will be
I
assigned
know
this
I can do that,
security
but
console.
can I create the user and the role via the data access for users as well, or do
Yes,
I need to
you,
go to that
you,
console first?
yeah, you can create it, but while you are in the education instance, okay, and be cautious. The reason, right? There will be a lot of people using an instant. You can create your new role and do play and anything you want. Okay,
Yeah, no,
or
I
copy
was
that.
just asking because I do that. I do that in our test system at work, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, see that also you need to have, okay, what is the role. Let's say you are going to go with the security console. Okay, let's say
Yeah,
where you can go to tools. Okay, under
yeah,
tools you will have a security console. Okay,
yeah.
you will have something called,
There
okay,
is
let
there
me,
security console.
yeah, it's their security console. This
Yeah,
in a real time, very few will get in the project. Okay, even if you are a consultant, you don't get a security console. The reason, right? It have a lot of impact when in the real time, but they will give the respective custom roles what you are going to perform.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
here you will search, let's say a project accountant. Okay, I'm going to with a project accounting. This is, you see, this is a project accountant standard role, job role.
yeah,
Okay, when I search this I could see what they can do. Okay, this is a role name, this is a
yeah,
job role, what they can do. These are all the things. This is what Oracle says, you can do all these things from this particular role. But when it's come to your business, you know better what you are expecting a project accountant can do in your firm, right?
yeah,
Based on that, this respective things you need to associate. Either they do setup, they do revenue generation, they do billing and event, or whatever, right? Each role.
yeah.
Okay, like this every role you will have. Under that
Okay.
also you will have a job role, duty role, abstract. That means what is the job? This is a job. The duties what they perform under the particular job, right? And the privileges and all, right? Privilege roles certainly mainly use it. Certain people only will have a few accesses. Okay.
Right.
Uh, somebody, let's say AP, only the few people can do a payment to a customer, a vendor, right? Many
Yeah,
accounts payable manager. Those things it will be split across, but you can select a roles, what roles you have. Let's say you want to see all the job roles which is related to, then you can find it out, okay, all the roles which is related to projects. See, billing specialist I may have. This is the standard Oracle role. I can go and
right.
create a copy. Okay, don't edit, create a
Yeah,
copy. Then you can create your custom name.
and then you can edit that. Yes, it makes a lot more
Exactly.
sense.
That before doing that, what I expect, right? You should have a clear requirement in your hand. Let's say
Yeah,
expectation. Then because you need to fill what is the let's say, okay, role name, GBS
yeah,
project billing specialist. Okay, this is the role. Okay, billing
yeah,
analyst. Okay, then now you need to this role, you are not going to say use as given by Oracle, no, because this is you are going to make it here, right? You see here, these are all the functions is going to be, this is the privileges what the people has, right? Let's say
right,
you don't want somebody to print a bill. Okay, you can delete it. Okay,
right.
so that you can customize the role. Okay, and based on the standard, and you can also go to the resources whom you can add it. This you can do it at after creation also. Then you can go to the data security policies. You see here, this particular person, what are all the things they can have. You see grant management is there under billing, right? And also you will have a contract management also, right? There are a lot we can have. Maybe if you are not using a grant, it won't applicable for you, then you can go with the rest of areas, right? These are all the
Right.
things you need to select, and you need to make a respective action here, right? Remove data security policy, right? Whichever is applicable. You see here data access, either business unit level, sub ledger level, all this will be given the thing. Okay, so that they will have a lot of, but we need to know what exactly we are going to do. Then the different hierarchies will be there in the role. Okay, what role is going to be, this is my role, billing specialist, right? Then I'm going to say this is my role, I'm going to have hierarchies, whatever it's going to be underneath of it. Then you will have a segregation of duties. Okay, in the first you need to define the role, then only it will allow to segregation of duties. Then you will have a users whom you need to assign this role, or you can have a some report you can add that, okay, this role you will be assigned to so and so user.
Right.
You will get all the user which is created. This is our user, right? You can find it, you can assign the role. This assignment you can happen at after you create and validate. It's not necessary you can assign it here. I assigned before previous page, right? You can assign it there also. Okay, then you can do the summary. Let's say you could review it, this role, what are all the functions you have, what are all the data security policies, what are all the role hierarchy, who are all the users. Like this, every role you need to. Sometimes you may not go with a lot of customization on top of Oracle what given based on some modules. You may not use it, you remove those, right? Then you can just add the rest remaining access part to the users. That
Mhm.
mainly in a projects, you can have a project controller, project accountant, billing specialist, contract administrator, and sometimes you have a project manager, and you have a team member role. Who all these roles we need to come up into in a table saying that these are all the roles we need. These are all the activities they need to perform. Then you need to set up a roles accordingly in the system.
Right.
Okay. That we need to
Okay.
have some simple requirement kind of thing for each role what they do. If you need it that part, you can just take these roles whatever is already exists, then you can talk to a business or client and say these are all the things we can do, what you need it from this role. Either ways will work.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but every you can export the roles from here, right? You can export it, all the roles, all the privileges, whatever, right? It's just simple export, which Oracle give a privilege. You don't need to go and every time there. You can export and you can do your further analysis
Yeah.
and from there.
Where did you show that sign where you've actually got you can show the different roles, or you can see it being uh, roles or duties or privileges? What were you? Sorry, role. It was duties, I think it was.
Yeah,
That you
job role.
various
Yeah, job role. Let's say duty
job
roles. Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Job
Okay.
means you are a project accountant. Okay.
Yeah.
Project accountant or project billing specialist, your job. But what you perform, that is a duty role.
Right.
Okay, so that when you say duty, there will be a number of duties which project accountant can do, or project billing specialist can do, right?
Yep.
That roles you can search with let's say revenue. You see revenue management, whatever, right? This is all the duty roles.
Okay.
So that you know, job is fine, job is just okay, you are a PM. A PM can do multiple things, right? Okay, also accountant like that, job role, duty role, and privilege role. Okay, these
Yeah,
are all the main
Ashok-
three things.
yeah. Sorry, Ashok. Actually, you showed us in another screen where
Mm.
it gave all the roles in a matrix. Like
Yeah,
what is the name of the role,
yeah,
its
that's one.
description code, and
Just go to the
yeah,
role page. Okay, just go to the
yeah.
rail. Then let me user. I just change the navigation to go to the roles. Right here. Here you will get. Okay.
Yeah.
Just search. These are all
Yes.
the, you will get in a drop down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Select one of them. Yeah. Select one
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a project accountant. This you can
Yeah.
export.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mark, this is the one that you were looking for, right?
I'm looking for the duties against a particular role. So,
This is the
um,
JD. You see here. Okay. What you can do as a summary, but what role you need to give a access to get that to perform all of them. Let's say here, right? Project accountant here, inherent role. This is a project accountant. Now I search here. Where is this? One second. Okay, you look at here. You will get all these inherent roles and respective. Some of them maybe somebody created as a test or something, but a lot of them which is associated to project accountant. You see asset maintenance they could do create a contract invoicing, right? Let's say you don't want to create a contract invoicing by accountant, then you can remove that contract revenue and in this one, right? All these things will be coming to. Even you can get it exported from the instance what you have, okay, when you are doing in the real time, and based on the version what you are using, then then we need to go with the discussion with the business to understand what exactly you are going to do. If you have already
okay,
have a requirement, you can match that. Okay, these are all the actions I need to perform from this role, and these are all the role names I need to associate it with.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Whenever you select a role, it will show the privileges what they can do. These are all the privileges you have, right? What is the role name and what are the privileges? This mainly what they can do by having that role. Okay, if you look at here, right, you want to know what privileges will have each role. Still you can select the privilege, you will get the extract. Okay, I will show the privilege extract. Can you confirm you are able to see my Excel, right?
No, I can't see it now.
Okay, one second, somehow there is a
You're
problem
on a
with,
different screen.
no, some problem with, okay, let me I will share completely whole screen. Yeah. Now you can confirm. Okay, let's say I have been extracted this privilege. Okay, what privileges we have in each role, right? Just go here. Okay, these are all the role name, inherent role name. Okay, these I have all of them. You see, there will be a 275 I got, right? What they can do from project accountant. Then here you could see the privileges. Okay, I selected a project accountant. What they do? All this they can do. They can extract the customer, they can export the account, relationship committee, or all these controls, right? They can do. Let's say you don't want to give certain role to them. Okay, from this, when you are creating your custom role, you need to remove them. I shown you delete, right? You need to select and delete them.
Right.
Okay, the privilege description will tell you what it can be done. Okay,
Okay.
so that every role you need to go with the individual role and do your analysis and get your the requirement and just create it based on the whatever privilege name the rich, let's say project accountant is a Oracle name. Let's say your prefix with your company org short code and okay, GBS project accountant, right? Then
Mhm.
what they can do, then you can highlight whatever privileges they are going to hide. Then that will become a custom role and get it assigned to the respective users. Before that you need to do a proper testing.
Yeah, but doesn't these privileges don't these actually have certain duties attached to them as well?
No, not a privilege level. Okay, let's say when you go to
I thought duty was a
system, right,
subset. I thought
while you are
duty was a
exporting,
subset of,
yeah,
yeah.
JD will have everything, but while you are exporting you need to just make sure you are exporting with all of them. So let's say here, okay, then whatever columns is here, right?
Right.
And then if you go here, right, you could show the graph also. Okay, this is maybe view purpose, it will be easy. Okay, let's say this is the role. Okay, but it's not, it give a view of Excel or something. You can, let's say predefined role. Then it will say what is the privileges, what is the aggregated privileges, something only few people can have. Here it will give a view of, okay, this particular role, what they can do. Okay, but in a reading purpose, or you want to see, right, it mainly to go with the list and export into Excel like this.
Right.
But here
Okay.
it will give a kind of graphical view. Okay, this is the person, and each one you see here, whatever you see in the line, right, that's what given in the Excel here, all the chakra.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay,
But,
some of them
but
you could see,
I
right.
understood.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see here.
actually, what I did was I understood that privileges, duties were a subset of privileges.
Yes,
And where do
you
I
may
go
have a
to this?
privilege. This one you
Yeah,
see here. Okay, project cost transaction processing. Okay,
yeah.
then what they do, cost collection, cost import, right, that's what it is.
So those things, collect imports,
Yeah,
project cost transactions, they're your duties, right?
yes. Okay, you see
All
all
right.
here, right, it says yes is a privilege, predefined role. P means privilege role, A means aggregated privilege.
Privilege.
So that if you want to export only privilege role, you export it. It will give the privilege, the same Excel. Okay, it will come to the same page. It will give only privileges.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Understood.
yeah, like this you need to export and do some kind of. But it is normally it is a time taking process in the real world. Okay, because once you identify, finalize the role, maybe it will going to affect with a lot of users, right? So that you need to take the list of rules by each module, what they do, then you need to set it up accordingly and do internal round of testing, and then it will release to business. That's what operational mode.
Yeah. No, understood.
This normally with the help of functional folks, IT admins, they do. Okay, we call it as majority of them security team, right, which they work across the tracks, across the application, right, what to control based on the data on security policy. They will might take your inputs and they will say, okay, these are all the rules we need to give, and tell me what are all the privileges we need to access, something like they do. Some of the projects the individual person has to do it, that rules, and take some approval and start assigning to the users, depends on the project requirement.
Okay. All right. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
yeah,
Better get
like
back
that.
to data access on business units. Okay. So we've done the data access for users.
Yeah, okay, so that you need to have, this is the toughest, maybe people thought just assigning your roles to the people, fine, that is when you are define a proper role, the data access and privileges, yes, it's just assignment. But prior to that, we need to understand what each individual role will perform in an organization.
Right.
Then you can set it up. Then data set I already talked about, based on the ledger, BU, whatever, right? Then you can assign that role, a project accountant, US business unit 1 or US business unit 2, whatever, right? You are going to assign to them and get it. They will get a data access. When you assign only the role, no data access, person still says, I have access, but I cannot see any data, any projects, any invoices. The reason, right? By the time they say, you need to identify there is no data access.
Right.
A lot of service tickets come when it's go to immediate go live, or in the UAT, there are a lot of things will come because you may forgot to assign the actual data sets for them, or not
Hmm.
assign completely.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it will be happen. Okay, so this is the prerequisite, and roles anyway we covered a lot here, right? Okay, and then mainly you can create any custom roles or something, but this is the prerequisite. You will only have a data access and the assign role, but business unit configuration, business unit function, even if you're doing a new implementation, that's something taken care by finance team. They know it, what are all the operations they are going to do. They also enable PPM along with other subledgers while enabling it.
Hmm.
Okay, then
Okay.
you will have a workforce structure, kind of manage departments and the organization trees, right? Mainly this one will be talk about on the creation of a new organization, whether you can create a department or associated to the respective tree, all of them will fall under, let's say, when you are creating any kind of new organizations here. Okay.
Right.
Mainly, this structure will be a prerequisite, excluding the data access. Once you create a custom role, then the departments, you lot of departments you get created from a finance, or some of them you, if you based on your implementation or the requirement from the client at the time of PPM discussion, you may come up with some departments you want to create, and this mainly use it for accounting or some other purpose. Okay.
Okay.
The main configuration from PPM which start from here, project organizations configuration, which will talk about project unit, unit options, all of them, which is going to be come under this. I will take it for in the next class, right? It's need a good amount of time. Okay. Having what is the project unit, what are the options we have, what are all the assignments we have, data sets, right? And the classification, all stuff will go with one particular class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what
Okay.
for, and hope you have anything for me based on the whatever conversation we have as of now, or just view since it is a first class. I cannot call it as a class. I can call it as a session. Okay, it should be interactive. When it's a freshers, that is a different thing, which I do used to. But when it's experienced people, like they have some kind of different understanding altogether.
All right. When can we have our hands to go through all this creation and setup?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
already this credentials, right? That the custom new account, I will just create it. You just share your name, okay, email ID, okay, so that we'll just create it and initiate it, because at least email ID is mandatory to create any account.
Right.
Yeah,
Let me. Are you in the group, Ashok? What
yeah,
where?
yeah. Where
Uh,
she posted. Yeah, you
Just
can
a,
provide.
all
Give,
right. What I'll do
yeah,
is.
give me the name, okay. What name you want to be represent there? First name and last name, and the respective email ID. I will just get it created. Maybe next class we'll get that.
can I use a Hotmail account? The basic is that's just what I was going to do was just mark.mooney and markhmooney@hotmail.com. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine. Whichever. Just for to you get some a link and whatever user ID password. Anyway, I will provide, but that is required too.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just, are you just going to provide me with a password? I'm just saying, welcome 123 or whatever it is.
I will just provide. Okay, in the email. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I have sent the details in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I put it in the chat.
Uh,
Oh, all right. I'll put it in the WhatsApp group just to be
yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
Okay.
So you're using the WhatsApp. What are you using? You're using the WhatsApp widget or something? I'm not. I've only got it installed on my phone. So
No, Mark. What you can do is, anyway, I'll teach you, Mark. You can connect it after this call. It's easy.
okay, your message hasn't been. We're still waiting for your message to come through.
My message, is it?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not.
Okay, all right. I'll copy paste and then send it across. Copy. Where is the message? Oh, mic, camera, share. Oh, Mark, where did you find the message?
I didn't find the message. It's waiting for the. It's waiting for the message. It hasn't. It hasn't returned. It hasn't come through yet. Yeah. So that's why I said I put it up. I put it up there on the